Hello, ready.
It's a pleasure to speak with you from Spain. How are you?
Good, fine, and I liked your conference, but I would like to be with you face to face. Yeah. Sorry for this.
Sorry for that, so go ahead, please.
Okay, I think maybe you can share my PowerPoint. Very good. So I'm speaking about micro-credentials for inclusive employment. And you can see on the 3 images, the future of education is, of course, belonging to the needs. We are going towards a green revolution. You see that, you know that, you have seen COP26. And we are going into a digital revolution. Of course, the machines, IoT, IIoT, and many more. The robots are coming and are needed as well. But I think it's a but we has to have a clear priority into inclusion. And I like, therefore, this conference because social inclusion is one of our biggest needs for the future. Yes. Micro-credential is not only a small project, it is a worldwide important project and needed project, urgent project. So I'm presenting today not the international approach, but the European Union approach, but you have to know that also the OECD field and the international field is going towards the same approach. So I'm speaking about micro-credentials on behalf of part of the European skills agenda of achieving a European education area by 2025, and of course as part of the digital education plan. Micro-credentials for economic recovery in green and digital transition. Facts and figures. The World Economic Forum says that 50% of the employed people will have to change their job profiles within the next some years. So because of these changes in the world, we need to have adjustments. 2030, 1 million new jobs are expected in the EU because of the transition to low-carbon economy. 2050, 2 million. More than 90% of jobs needs different types of digital skills. And, of course, there is a big misalignment between demand and supply of skills and qualifications. So we really need to do something. But there are some problems. We are working now with micro-credentials since several years. I'm working with these fields as an expert of the different fields and as well as a researcher. And there are some problems encountered. So one of the biggest problems is, of course, the political challenge. So more and more people need to update their knowledge, skills, and competences, green and digital change, but as well now we are sitting in a multi-disrupted time, you know. So we need to have a recovery from these disorders, COVID-19, e.g., but there is an extremely increasing number of micro-credentials worldwide and in Europe. So people are saying when we have to change, we need to have that. The value and understanding of micro-credentials is not always clear and transparent because of the very different providers in training, further education, and in the private sector. So many questions are on the field when we look to that about the quality, the recognition, the transparency, and of course the transferability of micro qualifications between and within countries, between sectors, and from one job to another. So, you have heard that already from the World Economic Forum, but as well within the media and as well by the United Nations and by the European Union. The up-reskilling is our need for the future. First of all, the skilling. Many people are not already in that possibility to use a proper education. But, as I said, many jobs had to be upskilled. And if the digital field will overtake jobs, and that will be a big percentage, then we have the chance to get reskilled, to find new possibilities, to change our profile for the future and for special core needs. So micro-credentials are providing an innovative and highly flexible tool to acquire skills in a modular and targeted way in line with the emerging skills need. Look it and sum it up. Micro-credentials in a nutshell. Micro-credentials are supporting labor market related and employment relevant education, training and learning. We find micro-credentials in online seminars, in boot camps, workshops, in company trainings, and as a result of validation of non-formal and informal learning. We are changing now and adding to the formal learning as well the non-formal and informal fields that are two additional third in the educational possibilities. Micro-credentials are issued by different providers, from universities over vocational training providers, private companies, chambers of commerce, trade and industry associations, and NGOs. And we need all of them because you have heard we need to change maybe 50% of the profiles and of the skills of human beings in the world. It's an incredible approach. Let's have a look to the project definition or work definition from the European Union. The definition is a micro-credential is a proof of the learning outcomes, the results, that the learner has acquired following a short learning experience. These learning outcomes have been assessed against transparent standards. That means we are speaking about short courses, short adjustments. And of course, people are saying when I has to get retrained or re-educated, then I need, of course, something in my hands. I need a certificate. I want to have it recognized. I want to be able to use it. So within these certificated documents, we have a clear framework, what should be in the name, the learning outcomes, the assessments, the awarding body, framework qualification levels, and credits. So micro-credentials are owned by the learner, can be shared, are transferable, and can be combined into a larger credentials or qualifications. And the authorities have to look to the integration of quality assurance with agreed standards. What are the building blocks for the European international work with micro-credentials? You know, during the Bologna process, we have created a modularized curriculum possibility for the future. And within that, within these Bologna tools, we have therefore as well developed many good first frameworks about skills and competences. So the common and transparent definition is, of course, the base, the start. But then we want to have referenced it to the NQFs, to the national qualification frameworks, and of course overarching to the European qualification framework. We need to look to defined levels, standards, and the description of learning outcomes. And at the end, when we are giving certificates, we need to know what is the value of these certificates. Quality assurance standards with defined credits are the goal. And we have developed this during this Bologna process, the ECTS credit system, the European Credit Transfer and Accumulation System, who is nowadays worldwide the leading system for credits and is defining learning outcomes and connected workloads. So the recognition is a big goal for further studies and for employment purposes, and that we can use it worldwide when we move around the world. That means the portability. Issuing, storage, and sharing of micro-credentials is a big need. So we need platform solutions, incentives, and many more. What is the procedure of the European Union to go ahead, as well with the OECD developments and with all partner institutions and organizations worldwide? 2019, we started with a big consultation and work, basic work of experts covering education, training, and labor market stakeholders. And we discussed about the roles in inclusion, quality management, standardization, validation, benchmarking, and recognition. Now, 2021, in November, no, already in December, I can say, the Commission said that maybe in December, maybe January latest, but I hope still in December, the European Council will make a recommendation to the member states and the stakeholders about the next steps and the realization possibilities of micro-credentials. So soon we will find in the media the needed goals to see it, to see that what I presented here, and the next steps to really use it in the employability field. A very important approach for inclusion in employment. Many thanks. I hope really for a good and inclusive transformation of the labor market with competencies and micro-credentials. And my special thanks to the colleagues Chiara Riondino and William O'Keefe from the European Commission and Anastasia Puliu from CDFOP, who have given me much material and presentational experiences in the field of micro-credentials. Thank you very much.